So, hi guys. Saturday morning, that's May, June 15th. Yeah, I thought I would do a few videos today. But a birthday party and more too later, there's not really a lot I'm doing. So, why not? Let's do a couple of videos. So, here I go. Let's go with the event that I'm not going to watch just because my interest level isn't that high enough. But, let's see. It's payback review time. So let's just do it from the bottom of the card to what will be the main event. It will be pre-show for Sheamus. I'm not a Sheamus fan as a babyface. Never loses a match. Never loses an unimportant match. Let's put it that way. When a title's in the line, shall we say. I don't know how you can win so many matches and not get a title shot. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. That's WWE booking for you. Anyway, Sheamus versus Damien Sandow for Payback kickoff. It'll probably be a good match because, say what I want about Sheamus, he's a good worker. Sandow is a very good worker. Surprised, I must admit, that this is on the pre-show. But there you go. I mean, if you have to ask who you think will win, and you obviously don't know WWE, and you haven't been watching the product for the last 2 years, but yeah, it's obvious shit. Next, Caitlyn the Champ versus AJ Lee for the Divas Championship. This match probably came too late. About 2 or 3 months too late. It should have been at WrestleMania because for once it's a Divas match with an actual storyline. That's something that WWE for the last 10 years at least have been absolutely shit at. Pretty much ever since Trish retired is when they just stopped booking properly for Divas matches. They did try for a little while with my brain is gone. Layla and Michelle McCool. I did try for a bit with those two, and I thought those two were really good. They were a really good dynamic. But they just haven't booked properly really since Trish and Lita left. So, as much as I love Caitlyn as looks wise, her character is terrible, and I can't stand AJ Lee. I completely agree with what the Off the Rope Central say about AJ Lee, in that for me her character is all sorts of wrong. It shouldn't be anything to do with her being a psycho bitch because she can't act. She overacts. And if you're, I'm sorry, if you're not Vince McMahon, you shouldn't be overacting. You just can't make it work. And she should be like a comic book nerd type of character. Like, personally, I don't find her attractive. I've always thought she looks like a 14-year-old girl. She still looks like a 14-year-old girl. But comic book lads like them petite type of bitches. I like a girl a little more curved to her. That's probably why I like Caitlyn and like the Funkers actors especially. But it is what it is. Probably expect AJ to win this. No one really cares about Caitlyn as a champion, and at least if it's on AJ Lee, the belt will be featured more on TV. And potentially that's more exposure for the Divas belt, but I'm not holding my breath. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, the champs, versus Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. I have spoken in previous videos that I, I, I hope that Randy will probably flip heel here. But you know, the more I think about it, the more I think that whenever somebody goes against John Cena, they have to be heel. They have to be. Like, forget The Rock, because The Rock was a special case. They always look at what they did to CM Punk. That is proof to you that they can't just have a face versus. They can't have someone get a bigger reaction than John Cena if they can help it. Daniel Bryan as a face will almost certainly do that. And WWE and their stupid mentality when it comes to John Cena. Never mind the fact that Daniel Bryan is so over at the moment with the fans, they'll flip him heel here. I can guarantee it. Because they're trying to ready him to face John Cena, which is why you're getting your booking. You know, sometimes if you're going to job to John Cena, you have to look good, and that's why they're heavily featuring Daniel Bryan. Never mind that he's the most over thing in wrestling right now, but they have to make sure that people have some sort of intrigue and interest. But yeah, I expect Shield to retain. Daniel Bryan. I don't actually think anything will happen at this event. I think the way they'll do it is they'll have him lose. Daniel Bryan's go ballistic, and then to come out on Raw and just officially flip heel. I can guarantee it will end like that. I'm hoping that it's Randy Orton who flips heel, RKO Daniel Bryan, leaves him in the middle of the ring, waits for Shield to pin him, and really beat the shit out of him. Start a feud for them, which will tie Daniel Bryan over until SummerSlam, and then he faces John Cena as a face. That's what I'm hoping will happen, but I don't think it will happen. But I expect that to be a decent match. Randy, when he can be bothered, is a very good worker, so and you know what Daniel Bryan and Shield can do is they have very good chemistry, so I expect that to be a good match. Then you've got Dean Ambrose and Kane for the US Championship. One of the things is Night of Champions. It seems like this belt being defended at every stage of the way, bar the pre-show, which is kind of interesting. Bar the pre-show and the CM Punk Chris Jericho match. But yeah, does anyone really care? Kane is a shadow of his former self. I've been really excited when I started to see the steel metal mask Kane. That shit was fucking serious. I like that Kane. They've watered him down so much. I mean, I'm going to talk about stuff to do with Kane and characters in WWE in general in an up and coming video that I'll probably try and do later on today. If I can't do it today, I'll do it tomorrow. I expect Ambrose to retain by some sort of screwy finish. I don't think it'll be a clean finish against someone like Kane. But you've got Wade Barrett, The Miz, and Curtis Axel in the IC match. Probably the most predictable match outside of the Cena match. I only see one outcome, and that's Axel winning. And it's the one predictable outcome that I completely agree with. I just don't see why you would have Axel. Look, they're trying to push him all the way. You need to kind of consolidate your push, and the only way of doing that is by putting the IC strap on him. So I think I can only see Curtis Axel winning that. I think he needs to make a statement in the match because he's had a couple of little stupid finishes. So it needs to be like a clean pinfall victory over one of the two. If you wanted to really send a statement, over Wade Barrett, but I don't think it'll be over Wade Barrett. I think it'll be over Miz. So yeah, I see Curtis Axel winning that. I'm hoping he looks impressive. I was gonna say I hope he impressed me, but I'm not gonna watch the show. My interest level is not enough for me to order the show. But I'm hoping he impresses you guys. So yeah. Now you got Dolph Ziggler, the World Heavyweight Champ, versus Alberto Del Rio. I don't really care about Alberto Del Rio as a face. I don't really care for him as a heel. He's one wrestler that I don't really identify with at all. Personally, he doesn't do enough to resonate with me, and I think that's a lot of the reason why he's not over as a face. Because I think a lot of people had that problem with him, where the coolest thing about him was to see what new card he put out. Other than that, no one really identified with him as a wrestler. I think a lot of that was to do with the fact that there wasn't enough backstage interviews. I don't think they focus more on his boy. Well, I've forgotten the name of. I remember Ricardo Rodriguez. They focus more on him than they ever did on Alberto. So as an audience member, we'd have a connection with him as opposed to the main guy, which is never good. So yeah, but again, I'll discuss that more in my video. And with Dolph, I'm hoping he wins this kind of out of sight, out of mind. He hasn't really defended his title in a couple of months really, so he should really be stripped off that title. But I'm glad he didn't. Hope they get back on track with him really and have a good solid run. I expect Dolph to retain that. Don't see any other outcome. Don't really see him losing to the Wilder the other outcome. And after AJ Lee wins the Divas Championship, I guess that'll be the golden couple. So yeah, I see that being a good match. I think Alberto's a good worker. I just don't. And Dolph Ziggler is Dolph Ziggler, but I just don't. I don't buy into Del Rio. So yeah, I only see one outcome. I think the Chicago crowd would be right behind Dolph, to be honest. So yeah, one outcome with that one. And then it's the hometown boys, CM Punk versus Chris Jericho. We all know it'll be a good match, but you'd be lying if you said you're looking forward to the match. The finish, what happens during, after the match, is what you're most looking forward to. For this to be a rushed return, in my opinion, because I did a video about why I don't think CM Punk should return until SummerSlam. You should have just given him time off. I mean, I know it was made to heal up and stuff, but they should have just given him time off. But I'm guessing they're worried about ratings, so maybe they feel that CM Punk could be the answer. So that's why they've rushed him back onto TV. It being Chicago, I don't see there being a point of doing this match because Jericho's lost twice to him unless there was going to be a screwy finish. Like, for example, just putting it out there, I haven't heard anyone mention it yet. Jericho turning heel and aligning himself with Paul Heyman. Because if you think about it, he's not really ever assaulted Paul Heyman. And he's the type of wrestler that would be a Paul Heyman guy. So I'm gonna let that marinate for a second. Don't be surprised if you see Jericho winning this. And you know what? It's my pick. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. But that's my prediction. I think that Heyman will get involved, cost CM Punk the match, and it'll go against Jericho. Or, I think it'll be too soon to introduce Curtis Axel. So the only other possibility, which I would fucking love, is if Brock Lesnar came in, F5 the shit out out of Punk, but I think that would be too early. So you don't want it at Money in the Bank, you want it at SummerSlam, that sort of thing. So I think it could be a little rivalry between Jericho and CM Punk to hold him over until when Punk finally confronts Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar's music hits. And I ain't gonna lie, I would fucking cream my pants. I would bust a nut if that rivalry happens. Because let's be honest, we're all looking forward to that. They haven't had any sort of dialogue or confrontation or any sort of interaction at all. So it'd be interesting for that reason. Because WWE don't do shit like that. So it'd be interesting. They used to, but they don't do shit like they keep people away deliberately because they want to bring them together eventually. So I'd be looking forward to that if they did that. So yeah, just if there was one reason I could order this pay-per-view, it would be for that match and that match only. And then in probably the most predictable WWE main event in history, John Cena, the champ, versus Payback for the WWE Championship in a 3 stages of power match. Ambulance match tables, and a lumberjack match. Who cares? John Cena's gonna win. 2-1. Simple as that. What I'm gonna talk about is I don't care about Bareback, and John Cena to me is Superman. And we're gonna see a video about that at some point as well. So stay tuned for that. I expect it depends if there's swerves. Usually there isn't 2 swerves in a pay-per-view. And I think depending on where the placement of the Randy Orton Daniel Bryan match is will depend on depending on where that is in the card will show whether or not Daniel Bryan is going to turn heel and whether Orton's going to turn heel. If Orton turns heel, that match will be unfairly late. If Daniel Bryan turns heel, I think it may be 2nd or 3rd on the card. If nothing happens until Raw, as I predict, it may even open the show. I genuinely think it will happen on Raw. Whatever happens in that match, if Daniel Bryan's plan is to turn heel, it'll happen on Raw. Just watch. Anyway, I hope you like this video. Sorry it drags on a little bit longer than I thought it was. Comment down below, subscribe up above, like this video, hate this video, do what you want to do. I should be back a bit later with another one. Okay? Peace.